Ragiroth Enterprises. Super Smash Brothers.
How's it going, everybody? Ragiroth Enterprises here with a Smash Brothers related video. Haven't done one in a few weeks. So now this was kind of just a usual typical wish list, top 10, well in this case top 7 video. There are a couple other things I want to talk about. First, I want to talk about the latest Nintendo Direct. If you notice, I kind of didn't do a reaction video on it because I've done them for the Smash Direct and the E3 one. This one I didn't do it because it's like, well, I had it recorded and all, but I'm sorry, I was just so goddamn bored. You know, for me it was a really rough Direct. There was just like barely anything that really caught my eye that really, I guess, gave me a reaction aside from just being like, oh, okay, you know, I think maybe I had a bit more too high of expectations, I guess, or something. I mean, I feel like I'm in the minority. I feel like I'm one of the only people that didn't really like that Direct. And I'm not saying it's all bad. I actually thought it was off to a really strong start with like Luigi's Mansion 3, and I was also really excited for that Bowser Jr. thing they're adding in like Mario Inside Story. I forget what the game's called. I'm sorry, and I might actually get that game now. Then it was just like, and then, you know, like there were some cool things with like Star Wolf being in Starlink. Of course, I feel a lot better if you can play as them, but whatever. And then there was some, you know, they at least showed off Daemon X Machina, which I think looks awesome. But like literally, the trailer was just things we already knew, and they still didn't even have a more concrete release dates. I'm like, really? Like, come on here. Just like, there was just too much on like ports and like just games that like I played a bunch of times before that I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that's cool, but it's like I don't really care, you know. And there's some Wii U games I really want ported because I'm trading in my Wii U soon, and there were some games I liked on Wii U that I didn't beat or didn't get that far, and I'd at least like to have again on the Switch, you know, because the Wii U didn't really get much time to shine. And then it's like the one Wii U port is Super Mario U, or New Super Mario Bros. U. It's like, really? Like, I mean, if you had a part of Mario game, at least do 3D World. Like, come the hell on with that. Like, it's like they don't care about anything that's not Mario. Like, I get it, it's Mario, and he's like the biggest franchise ever, but it's like, come the hell on. Have some faith in some other things. No Metroid Prime 4 trailer. No new Star Fox news. I mean, I guess he has Starlink, sort of, but no Bayonetta 3 news. It's just, you know, no. It's just all like the most expected, typical kind of safe games I feel like that they were showing. And then it's like the Final Fantasy stuff was like, alright, I guess that's kind of cool, but it's like the one I'd actually kind of care about playing about is 8, because I never beat Final Fantasy 8, and I actually found myself playing more when I had it on a portable console. Of course, that's like the one between 7 and like 12 that doesn't get ported, so, okay. Then, of course, the Smash Bros. Reveal. Oh my god. Look, I don't like hate Isabelle. I hate Animal Crossing. I personally am just not really an Animal Crossing nor Isabelle fan. I just don't. Characters that just kind of use like regular household appliances and objects like that usually just don't appeal to me personally. And it's like, look, I expect her to be in the game. I figured she was going to be in the game after all the leaks and stuff pointing towards her. But I think most of us kind of expected her to be an Echo Fighter, not a unique character. So it's like, when you're telling me they seriously went out of their way to make her unique instead of just make her an Echo and call it a day, and you don't even give us another character, or at least another Echo Fighter or something, I was just like, really? Like, seriously? And I get it, like, it was mostly done to promote that there's going to be a new Animal Crossing game, and I'm not an Animal Crossing fan, so of course that was kind of just like, whoosh, for me. So I guess it wasn't as much a bad Direct, I just feel like there wasn't much for me. And I guess maybe I'm just like, I'm a Nintendo fan, I guess I'm just not a very like, I don't know if I'm a hardcore Nintendo fan or a general or casual Nintendo fan. I don't really know. I guess I like the more, you know, the things I like aren't as much the general casual audience things like Mario and Animal Crossing, even though I do like Mario kind of. But yeah, I was not too thrilled with that at all. I'm sorry, you know, I don't mean to be a hater. I love Nintendo, and also, to be fair, their online service stuff was not really helping. It's not looking really good. I really don't care about playing NES games. I think they're really being limiting with the cloud storage. I mean, I'm gonna get Nintendo Online, but only because it's $20 a year, but it's not looking good. And then it also didn't help, admittedly, that some of the things were kind of spoiled because the Direct got delayed, but they still got announced or leaked. Like the Mega Man 11 demo, hey, if the Mega Man 11 demo was first found out that day, at the Direct, that would have been a point towards it, but because of the delay, that kind of messed things up. And like, I know this is probably insensitive, but I think the delay did not help things. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel bad for Japan and Hokkaido. I hope they're recovering. My hearts go out to them. It's not that. It's just, it's still kind of, I think, gave us more time to speculate and maybe get our expectations high. And maybe we were thinking, it got us thinking, like, was there maybe sensitive content in there that they didn't want to show? Like maybe like Isaac or something getting revealed, because he has to do with Earth and stuff. Or maybe they're going to add more stuff. And I guess, yeah, that's our fault for getting our hopes up for that. But it still kind of stings. It still stings. I just feel like Nintendo is so stingy with like giving news on their games. I don't understand. But yeah, I was not too happy with it. Here's kind of hoping the next Direct or whatever it is, will at least interest me more. It's cool for people that liked it. It wasn't my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea at all. I'd rather kind of spared that 35 minutes of my life, to be honest. But now for the main reason, and I'm also going to talk about like some of the leaks and rumors going on with Smash Bros. Ultimate now, which I'm not too thrilled about, but I'll get a little bit. I'll talk a little bit about that, not as much that. But the main reason we're here is to talk about some other characters I still like in Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now here's a little disclaimer. I am super happy with the roster. I am very thrilled. They're adding a lot of cool characters. I wasn't too crazy about Isabelle, but aside from her, everything is pretty good or reasonable. And even then, it's like I get Isabelle's requested, so at least she's kind of pleasing people and not just like some random ass character they're just throwing in a shock value. Who's your trainer? So, like, there's only a couple characters on this list. It's not even a top 10 list. There's not even honorable mentions. There's like a couple characters on this list that, like, if they don't get in, I would genuinely be kind of upset. But either way, I love the roster as it is. I'm still gonna probably enjoy and love the game. But it's like, I do think, it seemed like it was building up to more, and things are maybe pointing to it not being that way. And there are still some characters I would really like to see that would make it, like, even more perfect. And a lot of these choices, admittedly, are kind of very bandwagon-ish choices that are just kind of popular requests and all that I just happen to agree with. But some of them are kind of less expected ones. So here we go. I kind of already spoiled it. Isaac from Golden Sun. Admittedly, I have not played much Golden Sun. The only one I've actually played is the third one, where you don't even play as Isaac. You play as his son, Matthew. Isaac has been requested since, I guess, the Brawl days. And it is a shame that he's just only been relegated to assist trophy status and then just flat out not being in the game, period. He at first he does seem like kind of a typical RPG swordsman, and it's kind of not fair to him because he is actually kind of one of the older ones that are in Smash Bros. Or that are Nintendo related that are requested for Smash Bros. Arguably, at least. And the thing is, I think Isaac would have all these kind of interesting earth and magic powers, as this is, aside from using a sword here and there, and like he'd be someone that uses earth powers. And earth powers is something that isn't really used in Smash Bros. At all. And I do tend to like earth characters a lot, like Tremor in Mortal Kombat. So Isaac would be kind of like the Tremor of the game, as funny as that is to think. And it's like, he's another character that's been requested a long time. I just feel like it would just scratch that itch, please those fans, as niche or as irrelevant as Isaac and Golden Sun are. It would just kind of like, finally get it out of the way, please them, make people happy. And I just think he'd be a cool character and, good fit for the game. Now, in regards to his chances, I don't think they're great. I don't think they're terrible, but, I think he was, because of that damn leaker, LOZ18, I think a lot of us were kind of getting our hopes up a bit for Isaac. And then since the Isabelle reveal, because I think he was stressing that, because people were theorizing he'd be revealed in that Direct. I think ever since that, his chances kind of went like, Though supposedly Nintendo did trademark Golden Sun recently. And they did, I remember, I think, update the trademark for King K. Rool, like, before he got put into Smash Ultimate, not too far in past, but still farther in the past, and look how that ended. So I think it's possible. I think if anything, maybe more likely it's DLC, if the DLC isn't relegated to just kind of newer characters that kind of just were too new to make the cut for this game. I think he could be in. I don't, we haven't seen his assist trophy yet, but that doesn't really matter for Smash 4. So I think his chances are there. They're just not amazing. Lycanroc from Pokemon. Lycanroc is hands down my favorite Gen 7 Pokemon. I really like wolves, so obviously it appealed to me. And I guess I should specify, I like all forms of Lycanroc. The Midnight one is probably my favorite. The Dusk form is fine too, I'd be alright with that. And I think that form is actually the most popular one. I just prefer the Midnight one, and I think it'd be a little easier to work in as a fighter. Now, kind of like with Isaac, funnily enough, we don't really have a rock or earth-based character. Lycanroc would basically scratch that itch, literally and figuratively, because he's a wolf in his claws. But I just think he's a really cool Pokemon. He'd be a perfect fit for Smash Bros. Like, yeah, I guess he's like maybe not much variety in terms of body type, because he's just sort of like another like thin like Lucario or Greninja type. But I think his element would really change things up. And I don't think, and I know, yeah, we already have my boy Wolf in the game. There's another Wolf, but I don't think he'd really, outside of some claw strike moves, I don't really think he'd be that similar to Wolf. In all honesty, in regards to his chances, I think they're. Earlier this year, I would have probably said they're maybe decent, but now I don't think Lycanroc's happening. I'm pretty sure most of us kind of think that Incineroar at this point is happening. Like, yeah, Lycanroc didn't get outright deconfirmed like Mimikyu, but it just seems like it's pointing to Incineroar, and I don't mind Incineroar. Incineroar was my first starter I chose in Sun and Moon. Admittedly, I kind of overall like Decidueye more, but I like that Incineroar was a dark type as well, and I generally do prefer fire over grass at least. The fact that it wasn't fighting type did kind of save it for me. In fact, I like dark types. I think it like barely wasn't a fighting type. If Incineroar truly is in, I do hope they kind of emphasize that he's kind of a heel wrestler, he's a dirty fighter, like Armor King from Tekken, and I still don't have Armor King in Tekken 7, so if I can't have him in Tekken 7, can I at least have him in Smash Brothers? I would like it. Incineroar would be fine too. I just think as a last unique character reveal would be pretty lame though. I would at least like him more than Isabelle though. But yeah, I don't think Lycanroc's happening. He's sort of, I guess, a pipe dream Pokemon. Maybe not a pipe dream, but just very unlikely. Saki from Sin and Punishment. Now, Saki has been an assist trophy in Brawl and Smash 4. This could be stupid of me to even mention this because I don't think he's been confirmed an assist trophy. I don't think he has. So he's not in that assist trophy prison yet. But I always thought he was cool because I like that he has like an energy sword, he has like a lightsaber weapon, but also turns into a gun. I think that was really sick. And I did actually play Sin and Punishment, and it was a pretty neat game. But it's like, I think his chances are like lower than Isaac's and lower than Lycanroc's, I'll put it that way. He's really obscure. I don't think he's terribly requested, not very relevant. I know like there was that one Successor game called Star Successor, funnily enough. But I think Saki's like son or his kids or something, they're not as cool to me, and I think, I guess they're more relevant, but that's really not saying much. It would be cool if this game got ported to the Switch, however. But yeah, Saki's just kind of a pipe dream for me too. This one's definitely a pipe dream. But I figured I'd kind of throw him in there because it would still be cool. It would be another assist trophy that could maybe get promoted that hasn't officially been confirmed as an assist trophy yet, at least I think. If he is, please let me know. And maybe I just forgot. Skull Kid from Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask is actually my favorite Zelda game. And Skull Kid is probably one of my favorite Zelda villains. I remember I was really pissed that he wasn't playable initially in Hyrule Warriors, and then of course I really didn't want to get Hyrule Warriors Legends, but then they added him, so I'm like, well, damn it, I guess I gotta get the game now. Of course, he was still kind of a pain to unlock, so it still took a while to get him. Skull Kid I think is a really cool and fun character. And I guess one of the reasons I'm kind of putting him on here is because he's another kind of rumored or speculated character. Of course, again, LOZ18 kind of screwed us over here because he kind of wound up being a fake leaker, and he was initially pretty confident with Skull Kid. He was certain he was going to be in the game. And we even have another possible leaker, Leaky Pandy, saying that he's going to just be a boss. And see, the thing is with Zelda, they've had Zelda has had kind of an issue getting a new character since I guess at least after Brawl. I'd argue even Brawl, because the only new character we got was Toon Link. Whoa. I think it's because the Zelda universe changes so much, but they do usually keep central characters like Link, Zelda, and Ganon or Ganondorf. And I think the fan base has kind of a hard time growling behind one character because it's like every new game, it's like, oh, there's this one cool new character, it's probably never going to be in a game again. I guess Skull Kid sort of falls under that. He actually is in a couple games. However, the game that would probably take most inspiration from, that's the game he's famous for, is Majora's Mask. Another character that I guess has actually appeared more is Impa. And Impa, she's pretty cool. I loved her in Hyrule Warriors. I would be fine with her. I kind of feel like they'd just be kind of lazy with her and make her a Shikeko, because I don't know if they'd take inspiration from Hyrule Warriors because it's a spin-off. Oh my god. Skull Kid to me would, I think, just be a lot more fun and it'd be another villain. And it's like, as much as I love Ganondorf, as much as I love playing as in Smash Brothers, at least we could have a villain from Zelda that actually plays like a villain from Zelda, isn't it? A clone or semi-clone, whatever, of a character from a totally different franchise. I just think Skull Kid would have a pretty cool moveset. As much as I like playing as a Hyrule Warriors Legends, I would kind of like him to have a bit more Majora-esque moves. I feel like some of the stuff they use in that was from like his other incarnation stuff, which is cool, but I think I'd like to see more Majora in that moveset. I think at least the and I think, because some of the things helping him is that we haven't seen his assist trophy yet, and we mysteriously have seen the Moon assist trophy, which might be a replacement for Skulk. And of course, people are like, "Oh, what's his final smash going to be if the Moon's there?" Well, either A, it could still just be the Moon. I mean, you could technically have the Moon be an assist trophy and be on Great Bay and see the Moon in the background. So it's not a great argument. And even then, it's like I said, have him do some crazy Majora-esque stuff that he didn't do in Hyrule Warriors and call it a day. I think in regards to Skull Kid, my personal thing is his chances. I think they're okay. They're probably a little better than Isaac, I'm going to say. They're okay. They're probably not great. I think it's the very least he can maybe be a DLC character. Obviously, though, if he does wind up being a boss in Spirits mode, assuming that's where he'd be a boss at, then yeah, obviously it's like, for him. I think he'd be kind of an awkward boss choice, because most of the boss characters that have been in Smash games are bigger characters. And I don't see him. I think he'd be a weird situation for him to be kind of a Ridley circumstance. I mean, like, yeah, him turning into Majora or something, that's a different story. But just Skull Kid, that's a weird boss. Especially because, funnily enough, you never even really fight him in Majora's Mask. Like, you kind of do, but you just play the ocarina and then something happens. So, yeah, I think if he's not in the base roster, I think they should just save him for DLC. Don't make him a boss. That's kind of silly. I mean, have a larger character, larger villain be a boss or something like that. Have something from like Breath of the Wild or something like that be a boss. Don't have Skull Kid be a boss. It's ridiculous. Okay, so I think that's all for him. So moving on to my number 3 pick. So now, I should probably get into this first by saying that Burger Ben, the leaker that's been kind of getting things mostly right with this game, that I think I mentioned in other videos with other games, he's basically dead on the fact that Incineroar and Ken as an Echo Fighter are next. And he has mentioned numerous times, including the recent time, that he has heard there is a Square Enix character. And he's reluctant to say who the character is. And I personally asked him, like, hey, is there any way you can maybe give us a hint or something? And he's like, he basically said, I really want to say who it is. However, I'm afraid if I do and if I'm wrong, I'm going to have to deal with harassment and a bunch of, negative comments. So he wants to kind of make sure he wants to basically talk with his sources first, kind of ensuring that, they're kind of agreeing on the Square Enix characters so he can say them in full confidence. So now, that got me thinking. If it's a character that people will be mad at, will give them a hard time for, wouldn't it be a character that people really want, that people would be really mad about if they were told to be in the game and they're not in the game? Like, why would we get mad if it was a character? Why would we get mad at Birdman? Aside from the fact we shouldn't be giving him a hard time anyway, why would we be mad at him for a character that we don't all really want? And this character I'm talking about is obviously Geno from Super Mario RPG. Now, admittedly with Geno, this is another kind of bandwagon choice of mine. I remember back in the days of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, when people were requesting Geno, I'm just like, what the f*** is a Geno? I had no idea who this character was. So I looked him up, because admittedly I didn't really have the SNES as a kid. I had NES, and we kind of went to Sega Genesis. Then we went to, N64. And I also didn't really get into RPGs until maybe, a little past the time of Mario RPG. But I looked him up, what his deal was, back when people were requesting him for Brawl. And I'm like, okay, he'd be kind of cool. Sure, I'm okay with him being in the game. Admittedly, yeah, that's how I always kind of thought with him with Brawl and Smash 4. Just a character that I'm like, alright, if they were in the game, cool, I'd be fine with that. But it wasn't until this game that I really, kind of started wanting Gino. I guess I've become kind of a Gino convert, basically. I just think, I don't know, there's just something about him that I like. I think he just feels like, because he's a cutesy kind of character that fits in Smash, but I just think his abilities, I don't know, his design just seems like cool, and just like, he just seems like a mesh of everything that should make a Smash character. And Super Mario RPG, I actually, because I got that SNES Classic, I recently played, and it's a really cool game. I actually am not that far, I think I just recently got Gino. And funnily enough, I actually had no idea that he actually talked. I was always under the impression that he either didn't talk or didn't say much. And I just think his abilities are really cool. I think he'd be really fun to play as, really unique. And I don't know, he looks cool to me. There's something about him, I can't put my finger on it. And I just think the other thing is, it's like, Gino's another kind of Ridley and King K. Rool situation where it's like, it's a character a lot of people wanted for so long. It's just like, he just feels like the final kind of piece of the puzzle to kind of put him in. So that's why it's like, just put the puppet in. Hashtag put the puppet in. Hashtag put in the puppet. There we go. So, yeah, I don't know. I just really started wanting him. I guess it's like, I don't know, I guess just because it's like I got Ridley, and I got Simon Belmont, I guess it's like I just need some character to focus on that's like really requested, so I guess maybe Gino's just that character. I don't know. Now, in regards to his chances, I would say probably out of the characters I listed is actually much better, especially with a Square Enix character. I think it just kind of comes down to a couple things, because I think he's probably a likely choice for the Square Enix character. He's not the only choice, as you could tell by that kind of fake out I was doing. I think Sora from Kingdom Hearts also has a shot. As much of a huge Kingdom Hearts fan I am, I really kind of don't want Sora. I just don't think, I kind of think he feels like a very forced addition. He's not really that associated with Nintendo, and it's like, I love Kingdom Hearts, but it's like, I don't know, Sora's just always been kind of boring to me, kind of lame to me. I'm more of a Roxas and Riku fan, or Terra fan, or Aqua fan, or Ven fan, or Axel fan, Lee fan. It's just a lot of other characters I like more, and I know, like, yeah, you kind of have to have him because he's the main character. I think the only thing that would kind of make this better for me is if Roxas or Riku was added as an Echo Fighter, similar to how Richter was added with Simon as an Echo Fighter. I don't know how likely that'd be. And I guess the thing is with Sora that Gino doesn't have is Sora's kind of owned, or at least possibly owned, by Disney, and that's kind of a big deal. They're super picky with their IPs. Gino is just flat out owned by Square Enix, and he probably doesn't even mean that much to Square Enix. The thing is, I think a lot of it's just theorized that Square Enix would be like, no, we want you to put in a character that actually is relevant today, that'll kind of bring an attention to our recent game. Well, Gino isn't in any recent game, so it's like, what is he going to do? So, I mean, that's kind of the thing against him. It's not that he's, it's like we got him as a Mii Fighter or Mii Fighter outfit in Smash 4, so they're okay with letting him use the likeness, but we don't know if that was it. Some people think that, like, maybe they couldn't get Gino, so they're like, oh, put in Cloud. But apparently the conversation getting Cloud was interesting. Apparently Sakurai had it with Tetsuya Nomura, and Nomura's like, oh, really, you want Cloud? You don't want a neighbor character? But like, even though like he was kind of like weirded out that he asked for Cloud, they obviously didn't say no to Cloud being in the game. And I think Cloud may have been decided on before, I guess, the ballot pick. And I think, that's why Gino was kind of a Mii outfit, because it was kind of a, like, we couldn't get him for now, so for now just have this Mii Fighter outfit. And there have been other characters that have been confirmed that had Mii Fighter outfits, so, you know what I mean? I feel like the stars, no pun intended, are lining for Gino to be in. I do think he still has maybe a couple competitive, I guess, characters with him. And there are other Square Enix characters, but it's like, I feel like Gino and Sora are really the only really requested ones. If they're going to get another third-party character from Square Enix, it might as well be someone that people generally really want. Like, I know people are like, oh, Gino just has a very vocal minority. And like, yeah, it might be a vocal minority, but it's a vocal something. Like, I don't see that many people rallying behind someone from Bravely Default or Niku, or Neku, I don't say his name, from The World Ends With You, or Chrono from Chrono Trigger. Geno, on the other hand, I see that. And Sora, I see it too. I kind of think it's between Geno and Sora. I'm more so Team Geno, even if I'm more of a Kingdom Hearts fan. I think Kingdom Hearts should have a fighting game, or have a presence in a fighting game. I'd like, it'd be cool to see Sora and other characters in it. But I just don't think Smash should be that game. And Geno's been requested for a much longer time than Sora. I just think it's his time. Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes. This is one of the ones I am not confident in at all. It is. I actually really wanted Travis since the Brawl days. I remember the first No More Heroes actually came out like a month before Super Smash Bros. Brawl came out, at least where I live. Travis to me is just a really cool and fun character. I love No More Heroes. It's a game I heavily associate with Nintendo, and it is kind of having a comeback. I mean, I'm not super hyped for Travis Strikes Again. It looks like an okay kind of game, nothing really spectacular. But I mean, it's also like a budget game. It's just digital only. It's probably just a little fun thing to mess around in. Hopefully there'll actually be a No More Heroes 3. But the thing is, Travis is relevant, and Suda51 has actually been noted to have actually been bugging Sakurai. I think not like harassment-wise, thankfully. Just constantly asking him, hey, I'd really like to see Travis in the game. Sakurai's probably like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. So I mean, he's kind of given in, with like his friend to man with Snake before. Admittedly, Snake's kind of a whole different tier than Travis is, unfortunately. But I think it is. I think it's possible Travis will get in the game. I think it's definitely not happening in baseball. So I think he seems like a DLC character to me. I feel like he'd be kind of like the Bayonetta of Smash 4 DLC. Take that as what you will. I think Travis would have a really cool moveset. I really like when characters use kind of an energy weapon. I don't think he would just use that. He'd use some wrestling moves. He'd probably get like turn into a tiger. Probably do some other crazy stuff too. Maybe he could use the different styles of it. Being katana too. He'd use like the double ones, or like the double blade. I think it was a double. Was there a double blade one? I don't know. I mean, there might not have been. Or it was like that's it. It was the really long one that I think, depending on how much health he had or something, how long it would be, something like that. But no, I think he'd be really awesome. Now that Simon and Richter, Simon is in, he's probably my most wanted third-party character in the game. It would be amazing if he got in at some point. I'm not really expecting him, but if he got in, I would be freaking out. So now for my number one pick, it's actually kind of a tie between two characters. It's a character I basically just see getting in as probably an Echo Fighter, and then a character, that I obviously see being unique. And they're none other than Elma from Xenoblade X for the Unique, and Shadow the Hedgehog from the Sonic games for the Echo. They're basically tied because it's like, while I probably like Shadow more, and I've been wanting him a lot more, I'm a little more connected with his, I have more of a history with him, obviously, because he's a way older character. He'd probably just be an Echo Fighter, and they're generally not as exciting as unique characters. So probably my most anticipated, my most desired unique character would probably be Elma from Xenoblade X. So that's kind of why they're tied. Elma, I just think is a really cool character. I like Xenoblade X. I love it. I liked it though. I think she'd have a really cool moveset using her dual, her kind of dual fighting style with swords and guns. And I know there's the whole realistic gun thing. What they could do is have her use one of the more, sci-fi guns instead of the typical submachine guns you usually see her with. You could probably use some of the battle system things from Xenoblade X and her moveset, kind of how Shulk uses the Minato arts. I think hands down for her Final Smash, you could get in her skill. That would be awesome. I'd like to see someone getting in a mech or something for their Final Smash. We haven't really seen that. I mean, ships and stuff, not like a mech. It's kind of what I wanted for Snake to get in the Metal Gear Rex or something, but of course that never happened for some dumb reason. No, I just think Elma's just really cool to me. I think it's kind of the closest I'll get to having probably Cosmos from Xenosaga in Smash Brothers. Now in regards to her chances, she's a really iffy one. The thing that kind of helps her is that supposedly Xenoblade has got a lot more music, which would be weird if it doesn't get another, which I guess would be weird if it doesn't get another character, especially if there's another game or so to pull from. And speaking of music, there's this music theory going on that if a series gets uploaded, it gets a song uploaded to the website, to the Smash Bros. Website, they're not getting another character. Because it seems like they only upload, because the times they have uploaded a song from a series that has got another character, it was after that character was already confirmed. With like, for instance, like there was no DK music before King K. Rool was added, or even Castlevania music. Obviously, Castlevania music would be, way bigger eyebrow raise than that because it wasn't in the game at all. Or like I guess Ridley and Inkling, even though I know it's not really a great example because they were basically confirmed the same day the website went up. And we haven't got an Animal Crossing song though, which is probably speculated to be coming soon. But now we have Isabelle, so yeah, probably the only thing helping her. I think she's possible. I think if maybe most, you can get her and then Rex and Pyra as DLC. Because if we got 2 Fire Emblem characters as DLC last time, I don't see why we couldn't get 2 Xenoblade characters DLC this time. Especially because I feel like it's a series that is kind of slowly growing and gaining more popularity and gaining more fan requests to be in the game. So yeah, her. And I guess another thing that might help is I know there was this like mech figure that Sakurai said he used for a character. Most people think though it's just kind of for the gun, which is probably for Inkling, not the actual mech for Elma's skill. But hey, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe we're wrong. That'd be great. So I think that's all for Elma. I think she'd be a really cool addition. Now for Shadow. Shadow is my favorite Sonic character. I think he might be one of the only characters that's on this that's all goes on my original. And Shadow is actually on my original top 10 list I did for Smash Bros. Ultimate. He's basically my favorite Sonic character, and he's had like at least a decent presence in Smash Bros. Brawl and Smash 4. And it's like he would make so much sense as a Sonic Echo Fighter. In a perfect world, I would rather him be unique. And I know he can be unique. I just don't think they're willing to add a second unique character to a third-party series that already has a character. Usually whenever it's a unique character for a third party, it's always like they're the solo rep for their series. So I think it's his best bet as an Echo Fighter, and I'm hoping seeing Dark Samus and Chrom, like some animation differences, or maybe even one different like special move. We could kind of have that difference. Like for his being up, he could do like they could just copy and paste like Mewtwo's teleport. And like I would really like for him to get rid of one of the stupid spin dashes and maybe give him like Chaos Spear or something like that. That would be like perfect. The Final Smash could stay the same, but they could give him like maybe a time slowdown one, kind of like Bayonetta's, just minus, Gamora coming up and the character, if you do it enough. Maybe it would just last a bit longer or something like that. I don't really care that much about that. It could be like Sonic's and you just go Super Shadow instead. But I think Shadow's chances, I think, are pretty good, especially because we still haven't seen him as an assist trophy yet. We've only seen Knuckles as the Sonic assist trophy. And I think it's like, yeah, people are saying, like, oh, maybe Tails could be the Echo Fighter, but I feel like Tails would kind of have to be unique, or it'd be even more of a disservice to Tails making him an Echo Fighter than Sonic. Because Tails, like, because Shadow in like some Sonic games literally is an Echo Fighter of Sonic, so I feel like it just makes more sense. Just give him some differences here and there. Obviously, give him a different running animation, and it's like I'm good with that. Whatever. I mean, I'll never use Sonic again either way. But for his chances, the only thing I think really hurting him is just these kind of new rumors coming up with like the box and stuff like that. Which now that I'm kind of done my list, I'll get into. If anyone ever heard the box theory, it's basically that we saw this box and it's looking just like there's like one more character because Isabelle's not there. And then, like, because of how it might be on the other side, there might be an Echo Fighter for, like, some characters, like some of the newer characters in Smash 4, like DLC characters, which most speculate is Ken, because Vergerben is saying that Incineroar and Ken are in the game, along with possibly a Square Enix character. I could maybe see the Square Enix character being the first DLC character announced, like Mewtwo, but I don't really know. If this is true, I mean, it would be disappointing. It wouldn't be a deal breaker by any means. The roster and game would probably still be pretty damn good. It would just be kind of a note to end on. I just feel like they were kind of building up to a little bit more. I think we kind of got spoiled a little bit too much with the Smash Direct back in August. And I guess it wasn't helping, after kind of the Direct, that I wasn't too crazy about hearing all that news. It was very disheartening. Do I believe it? I mean, it's easy to kind of just believe it because it's disappointing. I think we probably aren't getting that much more, but I could maybe see it being Incineroar, Square Enix rep, hopefully Geno, and then like Ken and maybe like one or two other Echoes, probably like Shadow and or Dixie Kong, but that's about it. So I think it's wrong, but I think also it could be wrong, but I think it's also not that much more than what we're getting. This is the final result. I'm hoping it's at least that. I'll look. If we get Geno and Shadow, I'll be fine, honestly. They would basically make it pretty much perfect for me. I mean, Elma, as much as I want her, I know her chances are kind of iffy, and I basically emphasized how much of a pipe dream Travis Touchdown is. So yeah, I think that's about it. Let me know what you guys think. What other characters do you still want in the game? Are you happy with how the roster is shaping up already? How many characters and who do you think is left exactly? Leave a comment section below. Don't forget to check out my friend Mark Yoon in the description below. Like the video if you like it, dislike if you dislike it. It's a free country. Subscribe if you haven't and you like some of my other videos. I really appreciate it. It would help me. It would help motivate me to make more videos, and it would let you know when I release those videos. And as I always say, another time, another place. Keep being awesome.